Hello, YouTube. I'm back. James Baker, CPA, your favorite international tax accountant, tax person, and helping non-residents from all over the world get started with their U.S. companies and their U.S. businesses. And today I have a caller from the Dominican Republic, and he has two different businesses that we're going to go into. Pretty interesting stuff, a little bit different from all the calls. All the calls are a little different. And sorry I'm not dressed up nice. I got this custom screen printed shirt. You see my face on it, punching Even Drago in the head from Rocky IV. It's pretty cool. I had this made for me. My beautiful wife gave it to me for Christmas. But I appreciate you all being here. I hope you like the video, and stay tuned if you like this kind of stuff, international taxes, entrepreneurship. I'm gonna get more into crypto and more stuff like this. Stay tuned to the channel, like, subscribe, whatever. And if you want to have a call with me too, I don't know everything, but I know a lot about my arena of international taxes. I've been learning a ton about the crypto stuff. Haven't made videos because I'm busy learning. You can schedule a call below in the description. There's a bunch of links and stuff, so you can use that. Otherwise, thank you for being here, and let's get to our caller. So thanks for scheduling the Zoom call. I'm really excited to get back to do this. I haven't done any of the the calls with Jim in a long time, and I'm just happy to be here and happy that you scheduled the call. So I see you left some notes, but why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? Where are you calling from, and get into some of your situation? What's going on?
Thanks to you for letting me connect with you. I've seen a lot of your videos. I love all your videos, and there's a lot of information I do appreciate a lot.
I'm glad to help.
Well, I am from Dominican Republic. I run two different business. I run a business of web hosting from a long time ago, about 12 or 13 years. And I have many clients from Dominican Republic, and very good clients and important companies are hosted with me. But I want to expand the business. I want to expand to other markets, and I need some technical services that are not available for my country, like Stripe, other banking systems, to help me in this purpose. And in most recently, I have started to prepare for launching a dropshipping website. My idea is to have many niche dropshipping websites. Maybe in another time we'll be moving to a classic e-commerce business. But at the beginning, I want to start with a dropshipping and source from China.
So you want to run a dropshipping business, or you want to run a warehouse?
In the beginning, with a dropshipping model. But
okay,
later,
so you want to start
maybe with
maybe
later to have my own stock. But for start, I want to use that model to take advantage of all the benefits of that model.
Okay.
And my target market is United States, so I think it will be better for us to have an American business, to have more better opportunities with the market.
Yeah, most of my clients are opening LLCs, and the main reason is for banking and payment processing and ease of doing business, access to Facebook, to have it's easier to get U.S. clients when they're paying U.S. company. It's just a lot of different reasons. But for you, there's two different. So I want to separate this for you so we can make it clear. You have the hosting business, and then you want to do drop shipping, right?
Yes, that's right.
And then one of the businesses has a partner, and the other one doesn't.
Yes, I have a partner in the dropshipping business, but that partner it's going to become eventually a partner for the hosting business. We have make a good dynamic within us. We work very well together, so it's the idea that we are exploring to partner in the hosting business as well.
Okay, and is this person in Dominican Republic with you, or they're a U.S.
Yes. Yes, as well. Yes, in Dominican Republic.
Okay, so it's two guys, two people in the Dominican Republic, and you want these two different companies. So let me explain a little bit about the first one. So the drop shipping is pretty straightforward. As long as you have
Yes.
your own, you don't have your own warehouse, your own fulfillment center in your own name, you can contract with other companies, but as long as it's not your company in your own name, you can basically do that without paying any taxes in the US. You do have annual reporting. You would have to comply with sales taxes eventually with the
Sure.
states, but in general, you wouldn't pay income taxes. So that's
Sure.
a great option. The server business, all the same things apply. However, if you are renting space and have dedicated servers in the US, that's a little bit more of US source income. And I did a lot of
Okay.
research. New York State is really aggressive with these kind of arrangements. Most clients they'll use with like Amazon Web Servers, AWS, right?
Yes, we don't use Amazon. We use another provider for the virtual servers.
Oh, but you use a provider for the virtual servers. Okay.
Yes.
So you didn't buy servers and rent an apartment, put them in there.
I do have list servers in Tampa, for example, physical servers, and at the same time I use virtual servers from another provider, a smaller provider than Amazon.
Okay.
But it's all managed from me, from the Dominican Republic. They only provide the listing, the physical servers and the connection. We manage everything from Dominican Republic, maintenance, everything. So I think there's a little line, a gray line in that, and how that's why I wanted to
it's a
ask you
great,
about it.
yeah, it's a gray area. There is a little bit more risk. What are you doing in terms of like monthly or annual revenues with this business right now?
It's yeah, at the moment it's really small. I think let me make a small calculation real quick. Maybe below the 30K or 40K, below that.
A year or a month?
Per year. So
Okay.
it's a really small business at the moment.
Yeah.
So that's why we want to expand to another market for more opportunities.
So I would start with an LLC. I probably wouldn't, I mean, personally, like, yeah, technically you may have a US trader business with the servers there. Practically at the level of sales you're at, it's not going to be, I don't think it would ever be challenged and no one would know about it. And I think the risk is really low. And also the exposure is low. If for some reason Florida wants to come after you for not paying taxes, it's really complicated. I've never seen it happen like that. I think the risk is low. Once you get to doing 30K a month, it's something we should revisit. Because then it might make sense to have a corporation or have two separate companies, one company that manages the servers, one that manages the client retention, and that way you can take more of the income out. You know, there's a lot of different structures and strategies we can do, but right now what my advice would be to keep working on your business, sell more, and improve it.
Okay, you think we should continue as the Dominican company, or you think we can go ahead with the LLC?
That's a great comment there. So if you have servers in the U.S. anyways, you know, the Dominican company is doing business in the U.S. and it's just, you have the same issue, right? It's the same issue. So I would use, me personally, I'm all about using LLCs. They're easier to transfer ownership. They're easier to own. They're easier to operate, easier to get paid, easier to set up payment processors. Everything's easier.
Okay. At the moment, we don't have any American clients. Mostly Dominicans, maybe one to another country, but we don't have American clients at the moment.
Okay. Well, if you don't need, yeah. Okay. Well, how are they paying you in Dominican Republic?
The plan, no, they pay me from bank transfer, PayPal. I had a provider for a credit card, but it stopped working for us.
It's really inconvenient.
Technical issues.
It's inconvenient to do all that every month at this level. You're never going to be able to scale if if everything's like manual payment acceptance and you're
Yes, yes.
and you're only doing
A real
30K.
pain. Yes, yes. Well, in that case, um, do you think we as soon as we start to grow, start to to get up, we should move to a corporation. We can start as a classic LLC and then move to a C corp. That's your
What's
recommendation.
great about the LLC, when we open an LLC for you, what's great about that is that we can make an election to have it pay taxes as a corporation later. So you can
Yes.
use the same company forever and have it be an LLC now. And if it makes sense later, make an election with the IRS and then pay taxes as a corporation. So it's pretty
Excellent.
flexible, and you don't have, that means you can just get started, open it, start operating, start selling, and then if you have to change something later, you change it later.
Okay. Great. And do you think that LLC should be owned by the Dominican company, or we
It's
should?
easier if you own it yourself. Honestly, it's much easier if you just own it.
Okay. Um, okay. So we as individuals, we own the company as a multi-member. I have read in somewhere that a single member LLC is easier to manage than a multi-member LLC. Is that correct?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, the filings are easier, a little bit easier. But you have annual filings you have to do. They're just the tax forms you send with the IRS is the only difference. And
Okay.
they're a little bit more, they can be more, I mean, they're both kind of tricky in their own way. The partnership, the multi-member LLC it can be better. I mean, what I would say is do what you want your business to reflect. If you want to have another owner of the company, you want to partner with somebody, you can each own it.
Okay.
It's not prohibitive, it is different stuff you have to do and you have to figure it out. I'm putting out I have a course for the 5472, the single member LLCs that I have that explains exactly how to do the tax forms. I have more I have to add to it this year after we get the Corporate Transparency Act disclosures and information there so I can show, so I can update that. And then I'm also before, this month, and before the end of January, I'm going to have my other course up, how to do the tax filing with a multi-member LLC.
Okay. Perfect.
So if you
So,
want to, if you want to have a more cost-efficient option to get your forms done, that's probably the best way.
Excellent. In the case of the hosting business that you refer that it's a great area. July, when I file for that company, if I incorporate and later I file, I should file as a non-American incomes, or how should
You don't
I
have to
declare
file a
that?
tax return. I mean, you don't really need to file a tax return.
Okay. In the case I form an LLC.
I mean, if you, in the case you do or you don't, I mean, your numbers are really low. I guess right now, if your Dominican company has the presence in the U.S., maybe you should file a blank form 1120F. And that would be a tax return for your Dominican company, which has servers in the U.S.
Okay.
That's probably what I would recommend, form 1120F. And you probably I think you need to request an EIN number for that company. It's technical, it's complicated. If you don't do it, probably nothing, no consequence ever. Because you have no money going through the U.S. The U.S. government's never going to know about anything. You have nothing there at all. You have no bank account. You have nothing. So the risk of having exposed to the U.S. stuff is really low, especially again because your sales are low.
Okay. The reason is that the servers constitute a presence in the United States for you.
Sure. I mean, not for me. I mean, they're physically here. Yeah, and they're leased yourself. It's a little. It's I don't know the answer, and it's different state by state. If you're, I don't know what it means to lease a server. If you're leasing the ability to use the servers yourself, if that constitutes having U.S. trade or business, I don't know the answer offhand. I'm not telling you what it is 100%, but is, it's something to think about. However, at this level of your business, where you're at and what you're doing, I don't think it's something, I wouldn't worry about it myself. I would just keep going and focus more on getting more sales, until you get like at $30,000 of sales, it just doesn't, you don't need to go crazy about all the compliance stuff. The US is really open and easy.
Okay. Okay. Well, so I'll start to think about it, and maybe when if I if when the business starts to grow, I'll move to another structure.
Yeah, just reach out. Happy to help again. And yeah, good luck. Good luck to you. Thanks for scheduling a call. It was a pleasure meeting you and speaking with you and learning a little bit about your business. And I wish you the best of luck in 2022.
Thank you, James. Thank you very much.
Okay, Sayas, nice to meet you. And if you need any help from us or our team, send us an email and we're happy to work with you.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Okay, bye.
Great to meet you.
So that was a great call. Isaias had some great questions from the DR, and two different things. The drop shipping stuff we've covered on the channel a lot of times. And, if you're doing drop shipping, it's more of a marketing service. And if you have an LLC, you're paying taxes in your home country or wherever, not in the US. However, with the business, with the service, when you start to have stuff in the US, you start to, increase your exposure a little bit as to what you may have to report and where you might have to pay taxes. And, it's a little bit, can be more of a gray area. His sales are he's still getting started with this. So it's a little less risky for him, but it's still it's a great question to ask. If you have a similar question, I encourage you to schedule a call. I opened up my calendar. I basically do from 10 to 11. I have these free Zoom calls with Jim, and that's why I am, I'm getting back into it. I miss talking to you guys. I've been really busy. I've been really blessed in 2021 to be very busy with a lot of clients, but I'm organized and I want to talk to more of you about your questions. So if you have any questions, please schedule a call, the link below. If you want a private call, there's an option for that too. And, subscribe to the channel if you want to hear more about this stuff. I appreciate you all. I'm not going to keep rambling here forever. I could, believe me, I could talk, but that's it. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.